In this raw and emotional Reddit cheating story, we're going to dive deep into the heart-wrenching journey of a man who thought he found the love of his life, only to find out that she wants to sleep with other guys. Despite welcoming this new woman and her kids into his life, OP has to deal with the dark truth regarding his wife's cheating ways. To find out how this story ends, get yourself a coffee and grab a bowl of popcorn so we can get into it.
After a lifetime of always doing the right thing, living right, and becoming successful in my early 30s, I foolishly got into a serious relationship for the first time in 2016. After a year of being great together, my life has since become something I'm frightened of and never deserved. My entire life, I was shunned and rejected by women, as I was always the guy who was too nice, sort of nerdy and overweight to a degree. But when I got into my 30s and became somewhat successful, I started getting interest from women. After taking them out on weekend trips for a month, 3 relationships in a row ended, and every time this was due to the women finding better options than me. I foolishly tried one more time and found another woman who was willing to date me, and everything seemed great. Even though she had 2 children, it made no difference to me. We ended up getting serious, and after a year of dating, I asked her to move in with me. I took her out of a horrible living situation with her drug addict parents, and took in her 2 kids as my own for the last 8 years. She doesn't have a driver's license, so I drive her to and from work every day, as well as every other place she ever has to go. I pay all her bills and for all the things her children need, and to be honest, if she didn't want to work, she didn't have to. She keeps everything that she makes and doesn't spend a single penny on any of the bills, and I've taken them on countless vacations, got both of her kids' cars. I went the whole 9 yards. The kids are now both grown at the ages of 18 and 20. While her daughter lives in my guest house, her son lives about an hour away, but due to recent circumstances, he's going to move back in with me at the end of the month. A few years ago, I caught her texting with another guy, talking about how she wants to meet up with him and have sex. She was saying all sorts of bad things about me, such as my inability to satisfy her sexually or paying her enough attention, when in fact, she had my attention 100% of the time. So go figure. I called her out on this and tried to break up with her, but she reacted violently and threatened to self-delete, screaming and crying about having nowhere to go, and that I was throwing her away like garbage. In the end, I decided to forgive her since she never actually cheated on me, as far as I knew. But more recently, I discovered that she was messaging some guy on Facebook, someone she knew before we met. She left her Facebook logged in on my tablet, so I saw all their messages. And long story short, she initiated contact with him, wanting to sleep with him the following Saturday, which is the Saturday just gone. The plan was, after I dropped her off at the mall so she could do some shopping, he would pick her up and take her to a hotel. I didn't tell her I knew all this and let it play out. Obviously, she doesn't and never loved me and wants someone else more than me, so letting her make her choice is what I was thinking at the time. Why try to save the relationship once it's gotten to that point? She's always angry, complaining, and never happy, so it's safe to say that she doesn't want or care about me. I let their plan play out and she went ahead with it. While sitting in the parking lot, I watched her take off with him, but she still doesn't know that I know. And to top it all off, I just found out she's still texting with the same guy from all those years ago. I don't know what I ever did in my life to deserve this. But maybe it's a punishment for some wrongdoing I did in my life, but I don't know what. I do know that I've been proven now to be a fool, and much more stupid than I knew. I feel like my life's been wasted. I always did the right thing, got to a great place in life, and worked hard, only to end up here after investing 8 years and a boatload of money on her and her kids. She still can't drive, has no money of her own, and no place to go if I kick her out. I haven't cried, but maybe I should. I feel tears welling up whenever I think about it, but I suppress it by thinking, why should I cry over this woman who never loved me, cared about me, and has treated me like crap for years, no matter how much I do? I think I've always known deep down that she doesn't love me, and just like my previous girlfriends, was using me for money.
I find it interesting that OP always talks about his partner and her kids in a way that's separate from himself, almost as if he was never really able to see them as family. While dating a single parent can work out for some, there are some things you should consider before doing so. The sad fact is, if he does leave his partner after all this, there's a good chance that he will never see them again, and all that time and investment he made into another guy's children could have gone into his own, if he had any, of course. When he caught his partner cheating the first time, and she cried, begging for forgiveness because she had no place to go, OP should have left then. These are things she should have thought about before betraying the person she was supposed to be building a life with. I genuinely do wish OP the best in all this, and anyone else who might be going through something similar. Whoever you choose to settle down with will impact your life, so choosing the right partner is important. Being with someone you can't trust is no way to live your life, and there are many stories on Reddit about people who chose to stick with their cheating partner, but regret doing so 10 or 20 years later. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Coffee and Popcorn, and I can't wait to see you on the next one.